Hello guys, how are you doing this beautiful morning? There's this great idea that just came to me as I woke up this morning, so I decided that I'm going to try this great idea, and it's a very good recipe. Just watch it to the end. Follow me to the kitchen as we're going to do everything together now. Let's go. All right, guys, here we are in the kitchen now. So I got out my sweet potatoes and peeled it. So that sweet potato, I bought it since, and I said instead of it to stay there and spoil, let me just use it this morning. So I have that idea of making a very nice and fantastic sweet potato, mashed sweet potato with pepper soup. So here I've already finished peeling it, and I decided to tidy up my kitchen, to clean it up, because I like when I'm cooking, I clean up my kitchen. So here I was just sweeping and making sure that the floor is very neat for me to do my work without leaving any stone unturned. So guys, so that's what I did. And here I decided to wash my ripe plantain that was remaining. I don't like to leave the leftovers to spoil in my kitchen, so I washed up the tray that I use in peeling the sweet potato to make sure that there will be no sand in my food. So I washed the ripe plantain and started to clean it up and put it aside when I was done washing. So I will now washed my already peeled sweet potato, guys. So here I have to wash it more than twice. So I'm gonna record every bit of it. So I washed it more than twice to make sure that I remove every trace of sand. Nobody likes to have sand in their mouth when they're eating. So I decided to make it clean, and now move it to my center table to start slicing it in tiny pieces, guys. It might not be totally in shape, it might be in square shape. You can cut it any size, any shape that you want, but it will be small. So I cut it and now put it inside my pot. Now I have to add my salt and make sure that the water covered the sweet potatoes properly. So I light my gas cooker and started cooking it. Meanwhile, that one will be cooking there, and I decided to grab my ingredients that I supposed to use, both for the sauce I will use to mash the potato, and the ones that I will use for our pepper soup, because I'm going to use fresh fish and make pepper soup. So you can see my habanero pepper and atarodo that I have there. I began by slicing my onion the way I want it. I didn't want this one to be big. I just wanted it to be small, in small shapes. So here I sliced it, get my pepper sliced. I have oda. I have oyakri here, the way we call it. So some people call it oyaye. So I set aside the onion for the pepper soup and the one for the sauce that I supposed to use. So that's how I started putting all these things together and make sure that I get them done the way it's supposed to be done. Who wants to eat something delicious? So keep watching and see the way I got all these things properly done. So I now grabbed my pepper soup pot where I've already washed the fish and added the pepper, the onion. Now I have to put my ohiokiri here and put my oda. So left the pepper for the sauce there, so that by the time I'm done with this one, so I have my pepper soup spice here. I have to put that. Actually, this one I opened it and I left it. I didn't cover it properly, so it was already getting solidified. So I didn't want to be in a hurry to do so. I was just trying to press and press. I say, oh boy, come out now, enter pot. Be no one make my pepper soup sweet again. So here I just finished adding it, and you can see how it is. So it's time for us to add our seasoning and a bit of salt inside it. So by the time we add all those things, we will now put it on fire. Making all this meal is not easy. It's something that you have to make sure that you do it well, guys. So here I have to grab my other ingredients that I supposed to use and added the water the one that is enough to almost covering the fish, but it did not cover the fish fully, so I didn't want to put too much water. So here it's now on fire with all our ingredients on it. I have my seasoning on it, I have salt on it, so we'll have to leave it now, let that be cooking. So here I have to check my sweet potato that I put on fire since, and for me to know whether it's soft, I have to press it and see that it's already soft. So I have to get it off the fire, guys. So I removed it from fire and grabbed my saucepan, the little saucepan that I have, so to start with palm oil, because it's palm oil I'm using with this. I use a little bit of palm oil, just like 2 tablespoons of palm oil. Now I have to wait for it to heat up. Added a little bit of salt. Meanwhile, when I was boiling this sweet potato, I added a pinch of salt to it, so that it will not just be like that. So now that the oil is inside there, so I have to add my onion, my pepper, and grabbed my ground dried prawn and added. I love that dried prawn. I love using it to cook. It has a great taste, and I got it from the eastern part of Nigeria. It's very nice, very neat. That's one thing I love in it. So I noticed that the salt I added was not much, so I did not come out properly, so I have to add a little more, and started frying it the way I want it. I didn't fry it more than 3 minutes, guys, because I didn't want the onion to start drying up there. So I just got it to the taste that I wanted. Now watched it fry a bit to the 3 minutes that I wanted. So I decided to bring it down, guys. So everything fried properly the way I wanted it. So I lowered the heat when it was like 1.5 minutes to get to the time I supposed to remove it from fire. As you can see the way it was frying. So now it's time for us to put our sweet potato inside the blender, guys. So I started by peeling my ripe plantain. This plantain corn ripe, saute na the type wey my children they like. So as it is ripe so well like this is the way they like it so much. So I peeled it and now decided to remove some part that trying to gum there and kept that aside. While I'm keeping all those ones aside, I decided to grab my spoon that I supposed to use and dish out the sweet potato, because it's like I was trying to look for it, I couldn't find where I kept it. So you can see I was just like touching it and just looking for where I kept it until I found it. Now started scooping the sweet potato that is already boiled very well and very, very soft. As I'm scooping it, I'm putting it together with some water that is with it. So now I decided to put the sauce that I made. You can see it, putting it inside the blender together. The water from the sweet potato is there. I didn't put much of it so that it will help the sweet potato to boil, to blend properly. Sorry. So you can see how I'm blending it. I'm blending it bit by bit, guys. So I'm not blending it in a way that it will worry my blender so much until it got to the smooth part of it, that the way I wanted it. So I quickly removed it from there, and now so okay, instead of waiting too much without doing anything in the kitchen while I'm waiting for other things to be done, I decided to grab my soap and wash off all the things that I used, because I don't like using things and be dumping them inside the kitchen. They to make my kitchen to look so much untidy, and it will now become like a very serious work when you now call the next person to, oh, come and tidy this up, because I love cleaning my kitchen whenever I am doing any cooking, guys. This is the way I like to work. This is the way I like to work, guys. So enjoy the rest of the cooking, guys. For you to have watched my video up to this point, it means that you're in love with my cooking. You're in love with my recipe. Tell me where you're watching from so that I will send you a hug when next I'm making video. Please don't forget to like my video, comment on it, and equally share it. See you in my next video. Bye bye.